Again, I'll give you a little bit of a pass because most of you are younger. And we should have done a better job, but you're going to be growing into your adulthood. You're going to be inheriting this world, and you're going to be having your children as well. We don't have a future the way we're going right now. But we have so many things to be inspired by. We really do. The Arab uprisings, the courage. And despite the fact that the battles have not achieved the ultimate goal, the fact that people are standing up in the Arab world and believing. This is the first step. Believing. No, we don't have to have this pathetic Mubarak dictator. No, we don't need to have that. We don't need to have these shameful, disgusting leaders. We can have something better. That is the first step. And when I hear people talk about it's all CIA instigated and, it's all a manipulation, please. I don't doubt the dirty business, the black ops, and all of the manipulations that are going on. Of course that's happening. But the one major thing that's happened is that people have started to believe we can have something better. That is the most important step of all, because unless people believe that it's possible, then they're not going to strive for it, are they? But they believe now. And I'm really happy to see the financial crisis. This is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Brilliant. I hope it gets worse and worse and worse. Because the truth of the matter is that we in the West, whether we want to admit it or not, have sat by while the world has been raped and plundered through economic hitmen, through wars of aggression, through corrupt politicians, bought-off tyrants, and all these tin-pot dictatorships around the world doing business with our equally pathetic and corrupt governments. All of this is coming to a head. And the financial crisis, which is engineered by the biggest fraudsters and criminals of all, the banksters, the ones who control all of us to one degree or another through that fraudulent system that is now in crisis. That same system that prints money out of thin air and indebts all of us, makes us wage slaves, all of us fighting for the crumbs just so we can hope to keep a roof over our head and some semblance of dignity in our lives, fighting each other for the crumbs that these sick, twisted, I really want to use stronger language and I'm holding back from using it, because words cannot describe just how horrendous these individuals are. The Rothschilds family and other banking families who are running the financial system, disgusting, pathetic tyrants. And I cannot wait for the day that the people realize who you are, what you've done, and where we're going to go from here. You better hope that humans have mercy, because if we don't show mercy to you and you get what you've doled out to the rest of the world for far too long, God help you. God help you. This is the year, really. Let's make no mistake about it. This is the year. They're getting ready. They've been wanting to attack Iran. Make no mistake about this. Make no mistake. In a day, if an attack on Iran occurs, the only thing that might save us from the most horrendous human experience ever imaginable is if Iran does not counterattack full scale. Which I don't put good odds on that. I don't put good odds on that at all. And who could blame Iran? They're surrounded on every side. A nation that hasn't invaded or committed to war other than war that was just in defense of their nation for hundreds of years. And yet we live in this la-la land that allows these so-called experts to get up on television and talk about how Iran is the threat, while Israel has hundreds of nuclear weapons and has said very openly, if it feels that its existence is threatened, it will nuke Europe. Are we asleep? And this is who we're doing business with? If Iran is attacked and they respond, I think it's very safe to say that we're going to have a nuclear war. Very safe to say that we're going to have a nuclear war. If Israel launches nukes against Iran, and even if they don't, by the way, if they hit these nuclear power plants, you should look up what's happened with Fukushima. Seriously, the damage that has been done as a result of the meltdown and what's happened in Fukushima is going to last much longer than most of us can imagine. And many people are dying and will continue to die as a result of that. Just bombing the nuclear facilities in Iran will be a disaster of gargantuan proportions. Just that alone. Just that alone. Never mind the fact that if Iran responds, as they surely will, probably there will be nukes launched. If nukes are launched towards Iran, it could start a larger conflict. Pakistan is not far away. Tension between Pakistan and India has been and continues to be very serious. There is a tinderbox that we threatened to set off. I've been to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, some of the powerful moments in my life. Among them is my visit at the invitation of the people in Japan to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I've met people who survived Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is not an exaggeration to say that what America did with the dropping of the atomic bombs on those two cities was create a literal hell on earth. Fire and brimstone, more than any sane person could really imagine. And we're flirting with that. That's what we're flirting with. You know, if there's one thing that I'd be right to be criticized about, it would be that I have been so fixated on these issues. Palestine, human rights, all of these issues that threaten our world, to the point that I have been derelict in my responsibility to my family. I have not spent the time that I should have spent with my two sons, nor given the love that I should be giving to my wife. And I'm not going to do that any longer. I'm going to find a balance. I will continue to do what I do, and I will do everything that I can to try and inspire others to do everything that they're capable of doing. But I'm going to find that balance between giving my family, my connected, close family, which happen to be Palestinian, by the way, giving them the love that they deserve, the father and the husband that they deserve, and working on these bigger issues. But at the end of the day, and I think this is the blessing of being attacked. Like I was going to talk a little bit about, I think I've gone beyond my time now, have I? So I'm going to end it off. I would have talked about Trade Not Aid. I'll just do it very quickly. I do have a mission called Trade Not Aid. It's very much been headed by me. As I said earlier, trade, in my opinion, that is part of the answer and a step in the right direction so that the Palestinians can live a dignified life. The Israelis know the power of this plan, as do the Europeans and the Americans, and I've been attacked. I've even been arrested for fraud by the police just a few months ago. Would it be any surprise that the British police would be any less corrupt than the British government? This is a safe haven now for war criminals from Israel thanks to the destruction of universal jurisdiction. So come on in, Zippy Libni and everyone else who likes to murder Palestinians. You're welcome here in the UK. So why would I expect the UK police to be any different? I've been attacked on every level. If you listen to those that have attacked me, I'm a fraudster, I'm a thief, I'm an adulterer, I'm this, that, and the other. The good part of this is that, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm very blessed. I have good people in my life, and I have my self-respect. And I will die with my self-respect. And I believe that's more valuable than any amount of money, any amount of fame, any amount of any of that crap, quite frankly. Self-respect. I believe the only way to have self-respect in this world is to be honest with yourself, honest about the world that we have, and be honest about what you can do and take responsibility. So I tell you, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help be a part of that process. I want to work with anyone and everyone who's serious. But let us not play any more games. Let us be serious. Let us be intelligent. and let us create a better world, a just world, an acceptable world. I hope that we do that, and I hope we do it soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
The very fundamentals of economic development and growth and free movement of goods and people was completely stopped by the government of Israel, by the successive governments of Israel. The donor community did not challenge this, but they continued pouring money over it. So they knew that they are investing in a failed project.
لأنه احنا إذا بدنا نقول شو عملوا المانحين، عملوا طبقة أو نخب سياسية اقتصادية متشابهة أو متجوزة بعض وقاعدين، هذول النخب هم اللي برسموا قاعدين سياسة البلد.
I think donor funding contributed because donors and the countries behind them did not challenge the policy of the State of Israel by economically blockading the West Bank and the Gaza Strip and East Jerusalem. So they knew that they are investing in a failed project which cannot be feasible without the free movement of goods and people.
At least 30% of Palestinians have been designated as poor, with nearly half of these falling into the category of being very poor. How can so many Palestinians remain poor with so much aid being donated?
واحنا ما ننساش انه في جزء كبير كمان مقدر يمكن بين 30 ل 50% من الدعم اللي بيجي من مصادر الدعم الخارجية بيرجع لنفس المصادر، بيرجع للبلاد نفسها من خلال المستشارين في بعض المشاريع. هاي النسبة اللي بترجع لمصدر الدعم تزيد عن 50% من المبلغ